Okay, Overkill, the final effect in the book. Some people think this is one of the greatest self-working card tricks ever invented. Of course, nothing's self-working in the sense that you need to know the procedures, which I explain in the book, but there's no sleight of hand. And Overkill is not one of my routines. It's a routine that was put together some years ago by one of the most influential close-up magicians of the past half century, a guy called Paul Harris. Okay, there's a few extra bits I've added, but it's not mine. But it's brilliant, and it has multiple moments of astonishment, hence the title Overkill. This is how it works. All you need to have is a different coloured card at the 21st position in the deck. You also need to, oh, that was lucky, the duplicate of the set card from the regular deck is on the top. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and the blue Queen of Diamonds goes at the 21st position. And the regular Queen is on the top. As with all these routines, you can do some false shuffling. We'll keep the top 20 to 21 cards intact. Any sort of false cutting will work fine. I've taught this on other videos. I mean, for the beginners out there, a great false cut might be to take half, say, I don't know, say take a half over there, yeah? So the whole stacks at the top there. Then you can do that and keep a break, okay? And then just one, cut to the break, and then cut down. So it sort of looks like you're cutting. So it's one, keep a break between the two halves, cut half, the top half, cut to the break, and then cut down. It's a sort of a false cut you could use, which is really easy to learn. Another one might be, you don't believe this actually works. You cut from the bottom down, and then down. Now that is not, I've done nothing to the deck, but it sort of gives the impression that you've cut the cards. It works, believe you me. Anyway, be that as it may. So anyway, the Queen of Diamonds is the 21st card down, okay? And that's the Stranger Queen, and we've got the Queen on top. So your instructions are very clear. You say, I want you to come over and cut a small pile, and be quite specific. Say between, say, 10 and 15, 10 and 20 cards. It's only happened, I've done this trick hundreds of times, and I think maybe once or twice somebody cut too many, and I was able to get around you to say, oh no, put them down, let's go again. But if you just say between 10 and 15, or say between 10 and 20 cards as an estimate, they will go below the 20. And then you tell them that when they cut the cards, you want them to count them one at a time on the table, and this sets us up for the Queen being on the bottom of that pile. So let's pretend they take that many. Now, obviously, I don't know how many I've got here. So you've turned your back here, and you say, I want you to remember that number. Just count them very silently on the table, which they do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Perfect, 13 cards. Okay, so that's, and then you tell them, we're going to use what the number of cards you have as a number to use in an experiment of mind reading sort of thing. Now, you now turn around, okay, grab these cards. You can, again, do some sort of false shuffling. You've got to keep the top half intact. And then you say, I'm just going to deal some cards out, okay. And you deal 20, and the way you do this, you don't know when that blue card's going to come up, and you don't want them to see that. So you sort of slightly bring your hand over as you're dealing. I sort of do this. Sometimes I might do it like this, dealing from the bottom. But anyway, it's like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Now, the reason why this trick is so beautiful, you say to them, however many cards you cut to, your secret number, which I don't know, which is 13, I want you to think of the card that lands at the 13th number. I'm going to count through the cards, and the one that lands on 13, I want you to think of. Now, you don't count as you think you might from top. You count from the back. So you're going to count backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Amazingly, because of the way the trick works, automatically, the 13th card from the back will be the Queen of Diamonds, which is the same number that was cut. Doesn't matter what they cut, it will always be at that number. But you just count round, you don't stop on the Queen, you keep on going, and you ask them to think of the card that lands, you think of the card that corresponds to the number they're thinking of, which is the number they cut to. Now they obviously think of the Queen of Diamonds. You gather these together, and this is where, this is why it's called Overkill, because you basically just hit them with various moments of astonishment. The first thing you do is you guess the card. You don't guess the card, of course, but you pretend to guess, and you do your thing. I think it might be a red. Is it a red card? Build it up a bit. I feel it's a royal card. Twinkle in your eye. Is it the Queen of Diamonds? Wow, big. Wow. How did you know that? I'm going to backtrack a second here. At the beginning of the explanation, I should have said that you also write a prediction down, which in this case would be the Queen of Diamonds, and you tell them that's a prediction for later on. So at the end, when you've guessed that Queen of Diamonds, you say that's incredible. And what's even more incredible is that out of this Queen of Diamonds, isn't it strange that it's the only blue card in the deck? What? Wow. And you say, what's even more amazing is that before we started the trick, I wrote down a prediction. The Queen of Diamonds. Before you cut any cards, before you did anything. What? And now I always like to finish with this little bit here. You say, and you freely cut the deck. It could have been any number, yeah? Yes, they freely cut the deck. They will look, you cut to the Queen of Diamonds. Bang. Now, of course, you know that they counted down and that the Queen was originally the top card. But after all these revelations, they're so amazed, they will not be able to reconstruct that and will think that they cut to the Queen of Diamonds. So it's bang, 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 it's overkill. And it gets a great, great reaction. I have a little joke in the book I mentioned about my friend from many years ago who saw this and almost crashed his car trying to work out what happened. He was trying to work out what had just happened, and he said he lost control of his car for a second, but luckily he didn't crash the car. But it's a great, great trick, and hats off to the great Paul Harris. I hope you enjoy this one. I know I have for many years. Thank you.